Welcome to you from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. Firstly, subscribe and like, the drill people, wherever you're taking this podcast in, whether it be Spotify, Apple, or on YouTube. Please subscribe and like to the channels. That's much appreciated and it helps the pod get a further reach to more people. 8 games gone and the boys are top of the league. We've gone to Craven Cottage yesterday and we've got a 1-0 win. It's a very good win, considering it's a ground that we haven't won in the last couple of years. So we're going to get into that today. Um, Firstly, I mean, if you see my TikTok or my no, I was on TikTok. Yeah, so on TikTok, I doubled down on my score prediction. Um, Predicted a 1-0 win. The team lineup is what I predicted, but I said I would play Martinelli instead of Trossard, the geezer who actually went on to score the winning goal. Um, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. I think he played well uh, to warrant himself a start. So yeah, I mean, let's get into the game. Uh, it was a nice day to play football, to be honest. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't raining. Like I said, it's not a hostile place to go to. The club was flat, as per usual, down at Craven Cottage. And I mean, let's just look at the first half as a whole. We can see, I mean, from where I was sitting, it was evident what was happening. Fulham were defending. It wasn't even a width for their box. It was more narrow than that. So they were very narrow. They weren't allowed us to play through them. So the spaces were out wide. And we were just very slow in our passing. So every time we passed the ball, we're taking too long on the ball, taking too many touches on the ball, gave them time to set. And in the first half of the first half in particular, that ball we like to play out from our centre backs, skipping the left back or the right back, and passing direct to our wingers. It got cut out a couple of times, especially down Gabriel's side. Harry Wilson was just sitting there, didn't have to do much because he took so long to pass the ball. He knew it was coming, and I don't know, like an NFL quote. He was like a cornerback who spied the quarterback and just literally made an interception on the pass. It happened a couple of times, like I said, especially down Gabriel's side. Um, and that seemed to be the pattern in that first 20 minutes. I mean, what we needed to happen was the boys needed to, for me, be braver in the middle. This is something that I mentioned a couple of years ago, just in the group chat, especially when we was at buying away in the Champions League. Is that we just don't. I'm not very brave in getting the ball in small pockets, especially when we're playing teams in a low block or mid block. You need to move them about and do stuff that they won't expect because if you go outside, that's what they want you to do. So you're playing how they want you to play, which is into their hands, and they're comfortable. It's what they're training for all week for the game to force the play out wide. So it's nothing new to them. So we need to be braver in that middle and pick the ball up in small pockets and go out to into out, and that will confuse that confuse the midfield defenders and makes them move about. And yeah, so I think we need to do that more. We wasn't doing that. And alternatively, if they are blocking at the middle, we need to hit a bit longer. Switch the play, which is what we did a couple of times. So in particular, happened first time, long diagonal over to Trossard, first time touch, and Calafiore put the ball into the top corner. Cue limbs in the crowd. No one took time to actually check the linesman, put the flag up straight away. So yeah, it was not the first time we went to Craven Cottage and had our limbs wiped out by an offside. Oh yeah, I mean, just in general, the first half was just pretty dull, pretty poor. We just wasn't at the races in terms of creating on a forward front. But no, I'll be honest. Towards the end of the first half, we started getting more down the right hand side, our favoured side, as we know. But Kaya Saka, he became the man of the show. Um, Ryan Sessegnon, he's probably having a nightmare still. He's probably sending money to the referee because he's been waived of paying a freaking yellow card fee. I don't know how he didn't get booked in that game. Every time he got near Saka, he kicked him, pulled him down, dragged him back, and the referee just refused to book him. I don't understand how that happened. Uh, so yeah, I mean, there was in the second half of the first half, the link-up play was happening down that side. Timber's getting down and wing on the overlap, and Eze and Sandro Joko were underlapping on the inside. It was a nice little build up. Um, the ball into Tim, but it went to Saka and Victor Gyökeres underlapped. And he's got the ball. It's a tight angle. You might say you should hit it low and hard across the keeper. It's not an easy finish. Probably would have been like a similar finish to what Jimenez scored against us last season at Craven Cottage. But he's making a run. Didn't go his way. But yeah, it was that was probably our highlight of the first half. We didn't actually do anything other than that. Fulham had a few half chances, didn't really trouble Raya. As we know, they had no shots on target, and that's been 2 games in a row now that no teams have a shot on target against us. So I think they must have spoke about it second half. Sorry, they must have spoke about it at half time. I can imagine Mikel Arteta told the boys we need to go diagonal longer because the space was there. Like I said, the space was there. They were very narrow, and nothing on the pitch moved faster than the moving ball. No man is faster than the moving ball. You know what I mean? So if you're not that ball quick enough out wide, I mean, kick up and just come back with snow on it. A nice drill pass out wide. Saka, I mean, if we can see that second half pattern, kick out to Saka. He had so much time on the ball, and it was like again, he wasn't being doubled up again. From what I saw, it's weird because there was a period in last season, season 4, where he was respected a bit more than he seemed to be respected recently. Ryan Sessegnon seemed to think that he could take him on his own, and like I said, he wasn't capable of doing so. I get found him consistently over and over again, but that booking wasn't forthcoming. So yeah, I mean, we got down that Saka was giving Sessegnon a lot of trouble. Got to the byline a couple of times, just a bit sloppy on the cutback, or no one was there. Um, Trossard wasn't getting that kind of service, but I mean, it doesn't matter. He was doing all right on his side, keeping their rabbit occupied. The goal itself, um, nice little ball from Eza. It was a nice link up down Saka's side. It was a good little ball into Eza. I mean, he's received that ball like Eza received the ball in the pocket. Well, I was talking about what she been doing in the first half. So he's got that. Gyökeres has now seen that, made a little run in behind defence. It was overhit. Defenders come across, a little collision. I mean, sometimes. Sorry, pardon me, 1 second, about to sneeze. We don't edit that out because this is a one-take professional thing. Yeah, so I mean, I'm surprised that referee didn't actually blow up a foul on Gyökeres for that little bit of contact or non-contact on the Fulham defender. I'm going to talk about the referee in a bit because he was a massive talking point in this game. But yeah, that led to the corner, led to the goal. Saka, I mean, he said himself that his corners were poor in the first half. We could all see that. They weren't really beating the first man. All low, poor trajectory. But he got one right in the second half. And Big Gabby, our main danger in the box, as we all know, just got something on it. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask for is get something on it, keep the ball alive in the box. He's done that. He flicked to the back post and Trossard with a very, very acute finish because it was an awkward height for him. But he was able to get his leg up and just tap it in with his thigh, essentially. And that was 1-0. And you thought at that point when it was 1-0, the way we're defending these days, the chances we're giving up, which are 0 to none, that would be enough for the game. Still a dangerous scoreline, 1-0, We're still away from home. We're still playing at 12 men. So we had to keep our wits about ourselves. And I think we did that very well for the remainder of the game. We also had a penalty shout in that second half. I mean, let's just go to referee Anthony Taylor. I said in my little bite-sized reaction after the game that he was complicit and an enabler of Fulham's behaviour, and that still stands true for me, having watched it back. He just was inconsistent with his decisions. You can almost, I mean, you can't, but you can forgive a referee being inconsistent from one game to another because they might forget what they did last game, um, you know. But to be inconsistent in the same game, around 5 minutes apart between each instant, it's inexcusable and it doesn't make sense. Raul Jimenez was just bulldozing into our defenders left, right, and centre. Gyökeres, one little touch on the defender, blows it up. Like I said, the Sessegnon thing, like I said, wasn't given any protection to Saka, getting kicked left, right, and centre. I mean, and the penalty, we were right behind it. We were right there. It was at the away end. And the penalty, I said straight away, it's a penalty. I thought it was inside the box as it was. Um, yes, Kevin got a touch on the ball, but in the process of getting to the ball, he's gone through Saka to get there. That is a penalty. You can't just discredit the touch on Saka because it wasn't a touch on the ball that brought Saka down. It was a touch on Saka that brought Saka down, and the touch on Saka occurred first. Therefore, it should be a penalty. Um, I mean, the VAR to check was so long. It was just yeah, it's scandalous. I'm sitting here happy today because those decisions and the referee performance didn't cost us the 3 points. We got out of there um, with the 3 point professional battling against 12 men, like I said. So yeah, I'm happier than I would be if we'd drawn or lost. I would be fuming to be honest. Uh, and handball too, Calvin Bassey. I mean, yeah. Again, yeah, it didn't affect the result. It's just we need to, be aware of what's happening with Pogba and the referee these days because it's scandalous, it's embarrassing, and no one's being held accountable. To be honest, no, I can't wait to watch that Howard Webb show. I don't, I watch it sometimes if I see it on TV, but I'm going to watch that show because I know definitely that could be a talking point, and I want to hear what Big Howard has to say about this one. He'll probably come up with some nonsense and back referees as he does, but no, no, there's no getting away from it. It's scandalous. Uh, yeah, I mean, we end the game 1-0. We finished top for the weekend, which is good, regardless of all the results. I mean, to be fair, as I record this, Tottenham just lost 2-1 to Aston Villa, so happy days. Yeah, I mean, just in terms of like key performances in that first half, I said we were poor, but you'd say Ricardo Calafiori was our best player in that first half. I mean, the guy he's just picking up spaces all over the pitch. Just before he actually scored that disallowed goal, he was on the right hand side. He was literally on the right hand side of the pitch near Timber. Got back to the left. He took a throw in, and then literally blinked. He was up the pitch, putting one top corner. He's just got a license to roam everywhere, um, which is fine. But where I said before, when we are losing that misplacing those passes, they were attacking down that side where he vacated. So I don't know if it was a game plan by Fulham or it was just the space was available. But Josh King, when he got the ball, he dribbled into that area. Harry Wilson, again, he dribbled into that vacant area as well. So I mean, it's just something to be aware of going forward. Because better teams will punish us, especially in the Champions League. I mean, we might play differently, might pull it back, put a bit restraint in those big games. But yeah, I can't complain. Man of the match was Saka. I mean, I don't know who you put your man of the match was. You got a different man of the match, put in the comments, let me know. But just for his second half of the first half and his second half performance as a whole, yeah, he looked back to his best. Seamless dribbling. He just dribbles at one pace and it's just at his own pace and you can't stop him. He wasn't sprinting past Cesc Young, just gliding past him. And Cesc Young just couldn't live with him. It was beautiful to see. I thought Timber had a good game again. He's just solid as per usual. I mean, you could tell from the very first minute. I think Cesc Young tried to get down there, and Timber said, "Nah, no, let's nip this in the bud now, mate. Not today. There's no point in dribbling because you're not getting past me." And that seemed to be the theme throughout. He just didn't try after that to try and get past Timber. Just solid back there. But Big Gabby, a bit shaky at times, but he got the assist for the goal. If you got him in FPL, well done. I got him too. Nice little points haul there for us all. And I mean, I want to just, yeah, I mean, like the midfield three. I mean, it was a strong midfield three. That's the midfield three we'll probably all pick. But like I said, it was just the lack of. Sometimes you need to receive that ball in those tight spaces. I mean, you're a professional footballer. Your top best players, the best players in your position. I think you should be able to receive the ball in tight areas and just play out from there because it helps open the game tenfold. But we just seem to be if there's someone within a yard of you, oh, I can't pass it. I mean, they may not trust each other. It could be the players don't trust each other, but I'm sure they do trust each other. We just don't do it. I mean, maybe we're drilled to not do so. But in the second half, you saw it happening more. Um, especially around the box. And Mikel Marino, when he came on, he was literally one of the players. He actually showed, if you actually go back and check his performance, he started picking the ball in his little pockets. And he actually could have played the ball a few times around the edge of the box, but he kind of held back. But you think if that was an Eza in the same position, he might put that ball through. So yeah, it's just a working point. Victor Gyökeres, I mean, I mentioned his chance in the first half. He had a few in the second half. He's creating chances himself. He's backing in, getting the ball to his feet, rolling defenders. He rolled one time and went over and tried to win a penalty. It was a bit, he went down the stages, so he was never going to get it. But it's literally carbon copy again towards the end of the game. He got round the defender and got a shot, but it was a nice height for the keeper again. And the left foot shot that he's blazed over the bar. Again, he created that chance himself. So he's creating chance himself, and he's getting played through a couple of times. It's just not going for him. But I think personally, I think you can see it's affecting him because we know he's a social media scroller. After he scored against Leeds, he's flicking his hair, so he's seeing the comments and the criticisms um, from outside and inside the fan base. To be honest, so he might be just a little bit low on confidence, but we just have to keep persisting with him. He's not hiding. I wouldn't go and say he's a player that's hiding, shirking responsibility, not trying to take responsibility for his actions, for his play. But it's just not going from right now. We're winning games. I mean, the harshest critics out there we'll probably say we're playing with 10 men or we're carrying him. But yeah, I mean, it will come. I'm hopeful. I'm wishful. Hopefully, it will come. And I think once he gets going, he will score. And I think there'll be a point in the season he'll score 4 or 5 games in a row. It wouldn't surprise me. Purely because he's getting the positions and he's creating chances. If he wasn't creating chances, then that would be a big issue. That's where I would have an issue if he's just going through a game, no shots on target, nothing. But yeah, I mean, on another day he scores one or two. You just need him next time to be at the back post where Trossard was and just get a tap in just to get him going. You know what I mean? Um, so I mean, I wasn't gonna do Atletico Madrid review separately. I was going to, should I say, but that's our next game, Atletico Madrid. So that's in the Champions League. You think Atletico Madrid, and you think low block, hard to break down, um, hit you on a counter. Simeone teams. I mean, Diego Simeone's been in charge for Atletico Madrid for donkeys. I'm gonna say like 12 years. He's been there for so long. He's probably last of a dying breed of managers that have long tenures. You've got your Wengers, your Fergies, your Klopps. He's up there. He must be the longest serving. Definitely one of the longest serving managers in the world, in Europe. Sorry. Um, but no, I mean this season they are defending well, but they're also banging in goals. I think they put 5 past Real Madrid. They went to Anfield, was unlucky to not grab a point there. Scored a couple of goals at Anfield. We didn't score there. They went there and scored 2 goals. So I think it will be a tough game. I mean, let's just if you bear me 1 second. Oh, what's happened there? He's gone. Yes, I would say. I mean, I would say that we may have to rotate. No, I don't. Or may have to, we will rotate. We will rotate. Um, we'll rotate because we have to. I think the Premier League fixtures are more important for us this season. We've got Crystal Palace next week. Just checking Atletico, they're fourth in the league right now in La Liga, behind Villarreal, Real Madrid, and Barcelona respectively. So yeah, I mean they want to focus on their league charge. Champions League, what's this? Our first game week 3. My stance: get the wins out of the way as soon as possible, and then rest players towards the end. I think we'll rotate. I think Martin will come in and start. I think we may see Mosquera if Ben White's back. I don't know where he's at the moment. He'll start. Uh, Norgard. I'm not sure Norgard will play. But if Norgard doesn't play, when does Norgard? No, Norgard won't play. Zoom Mendy will play. Zoom Mendy will play. Uh, Eze will play. Gyökeres, Saka. We'll probably start with a strong lineup. we probably will start with strong lineups. I mean, maybe went one or two changes. Maybe Martinelli coming for Trossard, Mosquera may come in for one of the centre backs, and maybe Lewis Skelly may come in for Calafiore. Which actually I would do that. I would bring in Lewis Skelly for Calafiore. Would you bring in Ethan for Eza? Not too sure. Not too sure. You could bring me for either Rice or Eza and move them around with ZB at the base. I think Saka will start. He's been out for a while. He's come back. He's not played the whole season, so but he's back to his best, but he's still getting minutes under his belt, you know. So yeah, I think that'll be the starting lineup. Raya, if White's fit, he'll play right back. You have Mosquera and then one of Saliba and Gabriel. I personally would play Saliba and play Mosquera left centre back. I have Lewis Skelly left centre back. Lewis Skelly left back. Zubi in front of them, and then I'll have Eza and I'm gonna say Eza and Rice. That's the same midfield. Yeah, but I would play Eza. I'll play Eza and Rice and then Martinelli on the left, Shocker at the front, Saka on the right. I'm maybe making a few changes at the back and then up front it'll be Martinelli in for Trossard. Uh, it's just yeah, I mean, like I said, we want to get these wins out of the way as soon as possible and then give us a rest around that busy Christmas period and early January, you know. Um, Score prediction, I do think we will draw it, to be honest. I'll be real, I think we'll draw. So I'm gonna say 1-1. 1-1 against Atletico Madrid, which it's not a bad result. It's not it's not a bad result in this in this league phase group format. You know, we get a draw here, we beat Slavia Prague, we beat Club Brugge. Yeah, we're fine. We'll be flying. Um, wouldn't want to lose. Definitely wouldn't want to lose. But yeah, I'd say definitely um, a draw will be fine. So yeah, I mean, we'll be back after the Atletico Madrid game with a little review. Um, keep an eye on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter because I do post some pre-match stuff, post-match stuff on there. It's not all on YouTube. It's not all on Spotify and Apple. I'm trying to, sprinkle some social stuff everywhere. But yeah, I mean, let me know in the comments your score prediction for Atletico Madrid. And yeah, I mean, have a blessed weekend. And until after Atletico Madrid game, have a good start of the week. Until then, all the best.